Dean Kogan again in A10, talking more about steps that the United States was taking towards entering the war, and another good document to kind of go along with it. We talked about how the Lusitania moved us closer to war. This one, I should say, series of, is really going to seal the deal, I guess you can say.
Yeah, because it's funny. I start my class with like, hey, how could a bunch of numbers, lead us into war?
Right.
And it's really like, all right, well, what are we getting from this? What little bit of information, not knowing what these numbers actually mean. It's like, all right, well, it's a telegram, Western Union telegram. And
they don't know what a telegram.
But no, my kids actually do.
They do.
They do.
They know what a telegram is.
I really hammer home like
That's pretty
AT&T,
good.
American Telegraph and Telephone,
Yeah.
beep, 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 Morse code and everything. And it's being sent either from or to the German legation, which is like the German embassy, into Mexico City via Galveston, which is somewhere in Texas, January 19th, 1917. Other than that, we really don't know what else is going on.
We just have numbers.
Yeah.
And then we have maybe little notations that were probably made by a curator or somebody else. That's about all we know. And then right down here, you have an official seal that shows that was inspected. And that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a bunch of numbers.
Now, if you're going to try to communicate to somebody a message that you don't want anyone else to know, how are you going to communicate said message?
Probably through numbers, meaning letters, and you're going to have to do it secretly.
Probably in some sort of code.
Because in the unlikely event a telegram does get intercepted, you don't want somebody to be able to decode it.
Yeah.
However, that's exactly what happened.
Now, as we teach 8th grade students, I'm sure they all have a separate language that we don't even know about.
Sure.
Via texts with their friends and messages within text that their parents, if they were reading it, they don't know what they're actually talking about.
That's a good point.
That they probably know a lot more about codes than we do.
Probably a lot more clever, too.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
to give them a lot of credit.
So basically what happens is because this telegram went through a telegraph station in Texas, somebody raised a flag on it, being like, why is somebody from the German embassy wanting to communicate with someone in Mexico?
Now, along the Mexican border, things are not going well at this point. You have Pancho Villa. There's a lot of turmoil between the United States and Mexico at this point where they're raiding certain sections throughout the Southwest.
A particular general who we're going to talk about in this unit, General Pershing,
Yes.
is leading an expedition of like 10,000 American soldiers into Mexico to try to catch this outlaw,
Right.
Pancho Villa.
So when we're looking at Germany now communicating with Mexico, what could it possibly be? Well, we do know that Germany, if we did get into this war, is not going to be on her side, not going to be on our side. We definitely saw that in terms of trade. So what is this message really saying here? I don't have my eyes in front of me, on me, so I'm going to try this and let me make sure I don't screw this up.
But before we get into that,
Yeah.
luckily, there are professionals out there who work for our government whose sole job it is to break codes.
Oh yeah.
And believe it or not, this was not a very difficult code to break.
Right, and they're usually nerds who are very good at math. So you and I are definitely out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a telegram received from London. So now we have, in terms of locations, now we have London thrown into the mix here. We intend to begin on the 1st of February unrestricted submarine warfare. We shall endeavor, in spite of this, to keep the United States of America neutral. In the event of this not succeeding, we make Mexico a proposal of alliance on the following basis: make war together, make peace together. Generous financial support and understanding on our part that Mexico is to reconquer the lost territory in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. The settlement in detail is left to you. You will inform the President of the above most secretly as soon as the outbreak of war with the United States of America is certain, and add the suggestion that he should, on his own initiative, invite Japan to immediate adherence and at the same time mediate between Japan and ourselves. Please call the President's attention to the fact that the ruthless employment of our submarines now offers the prospect of compelling England in a few months to make peace. Signed, Zimmerman. Wow, I did that without glasses.
Good
Okay,
job.
I'm cured.
Good job.
So, what pops out at you? I mean,
So basically, Germany is telling Mexico, hey, if by chance the United States declares war on us, we want you to declare war on the United States.
and I believe the key word there, we have an alliance.
Yep.
A proposal of an
to
alliance.
make war together. So if the United States declares war on Germany, Germany will declare war on the United States, and so will Mexico.
Now, as Mexico, what do you have to benefit from it? You're going to get back Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. These are all areas that they lost during the Mexican-American War. So there's something in it for Mexico.
And the benefit to Germany here is they know we're powerful.
Oh yeah.
They know if we get involved in a war against them, it's only a matter of months before they're going to lose the war. So by cleverly trying to get Mexico involved, if Mexico declares war on us, guess where we're not sending our soldiers?
We have to defend our homeland.
We're
We
not
can't-
sending soldiers to Europe to fight in the trenches. We're sending our soldiers down to the Texas-Mexican border to fight against Mexico.
Now, there are countries that want us involved, England, because there's a stalemate going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's no clear winner, there's no clear loser. And if you really want to think about this, we're getting further into the war. We're sitting on the bench for the most part. And
Clearly cheerleading for one side.
cheerleading for one side, but usually when you're talking about wars of this magnitude, the United States is normally not on the bench.
Yeah.
They're usually the starting squad, without a doubt. So England knows that, hey, if we learn of this, we're going to get involved. So that's where England comes in, because they're the one who actually intercepts this
That's
message.
right. I misspoke before. You're right.
Yeah, they intercept this message, and they're like, hey, United States, look at this. Look what's going on. And you kind of see that going on here with this cartoon. Hey,
I
they
wish there
want
was a
to-
better drawing of this.
Yes.
Because and everywhere I look, it's really hard to understand. But what we have here, we see a sombrero.
Yep.
We see the German. I'm sure there's a name for that helmet.
The funny thing is that, they start, this is usually what's used in political cartoons to identify, this becomes really clear. You see this on somebody's head, this is representing
Yeah.
Germany. And of course, kids always, they look at that, they're like, wow, the spike on the helmet. It didn't really serve any sort of practical
No.
purpose other than to look cool and look intimidating.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you were going to be out of bullets and go, okay, I'll just, charge the guy.
So here we have like the German man whispering into the ear of the Mexicans, join with Germany and you get a bit of the United States. Sounds like a good deal for Mexico.
Yeah, and this is going to secret alliances that we brought up. Actually, you brought up when we were talking about the causes of it. So with this Zimmerman plot, I guess to make sure we're not missing anything, Arthur Zimmerman, this was Germany's foreign secretary. He sends a secret note to the German minister in Mexico, intercepted by England. In it, he's instructing the minister to urge Mexico to attack the United States. So when we're talking about that attack, that's coming up from the south. So it's going to be easy for Mexico. All you're doing is you're crossing over land. This is an area that's already tense, it's hostile. You already have people there. It's going to be difficult for the United States to fight a war at home and then send troops over the Atlantic. Over
And
into
Germany
Europe.
knows this.
And they know it, yeah. Hey, you do that, you could possibly win. Urge Mexico to attack the United States if the U.S. declared war on Germany. In return, Germany would help Mexico win back land it lost in the Southwest. And this, along with the unrestricted submarine warfare, this is really what's going to get us into it.
Yeah, because as it was with the Lusitania, yeah, that happens 1915,
Yeah.
1914.
We don't get involved.
And
until
we don't
17.
get involved. This is kind of the proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back.
The unrestricted submarine warfare did not stop after the
Yeah.
Lusitania, so when you're looking at a lot of causes, particularly on a test, when you're looking at why does the United States get involved, the unrestricted submarine warfare, you can kind of tie that in with that.
Interesting how the last two wars we fought, a letter has to do with it. Whether it was the DeLone letter in the
Okay,
Spanish-American
DeLone
War,
calling us wimps.
to the
Zimmerman
telegram
plot,
being
yeah.
sent. Yeah, that this is then gonna ask. Woodrow Wilson will go before Congress and say, "Hey, look, there's enough evidence here.
We got enough.
We need to declare war."
They want us to play, or we're going to play?
And we declared war.
We missing anything with this?
Negative.
All right, well, good. Thank you for watching. Have fun analyzing this.